I think people think it's hugely ironic that I'm a dyslexic writer, but actually I think in many ways it's the reason why I can write the way I can. I currently live in New York City, and every day I'm either studying, skating or working on my writing. I cannot believe how lucky I am. So I wrote a story recently called Faulty Nouns, and the lead protagonist is actually a dyslexic character, which is really great for me and satisfying to write characters that are dyslexic as well. And I guess when I was writing the piece, I sort of realised rather than my usual panic to ask someone to spell check and punctuate it, it made more sense to leave the writing in a way a dyslexic would write, because we're dealing with a dyslexic character, and it actually ironically translates the character so much better than if I'd put it into conventional language. So yeah, the piece sort of highlights a dyslexic character being lost in London and all the different ways that a dyslexic might engage with the world in a way that's anxiety inducing because we don't understand that people think differently. I guess I got into writing through skateboarding. Down the skate park when everyone else would be listening to tunes with their headphones, I had audiobooks on, which is something that my mum and dad introduced me to because as a dyslexic person, when I was younger, I definitely really struggled with reading, but I loved listening to stories. So I'd be down the skate park in a great headspace, learning new tricks, listening to Jane Austen. Fulbright is basically a scholarship programme that's aim is to promote international relations through education. I definitely would not have been able to go to a university like NYU without it. I grew up watching things like Gossip Girl on TV, and it's people like that go to NYU. So during the interview, I actually ended up handing out to the panel a passage of proofread writing, and then the same passage of my writing but not proofread, so that they could see how I actually write as a dyslexic person. And at the time that felt like a risk, because in interviews it's not my usual to fess up to being dyslexic, especially when trying to get literature scholarships, but it was really important to me to start to prove the misconception wrong that somehow dyslexia means an inability in literature, whereas I actually feel so strongly about literature being an area where dyslexic people can excel with some understanding and the right support. Some unbelievably influential people have done the Fulbright programme, for instance Sylvia Plath. I actually heard about the Fulbright scholarship through reading Sylvia Plath's diaries, so it does feel amazing to be on the same programme as people like that. I think it's something like 59 Fulbrighters have graduated and went on to win Nobel Prizes. No pressure. So I like to keep all the authors that inspire me hanging around the flat. We've got Zadie Smith, who teaches at NYU, and Val McDermott, who's also from Kirkcaldy and a Rape Rovers fan, so we have to keep her around. Funnily enough, the novel is about twins, which is something I definitely know a lot about. And it's about the anomaly that twins present in our digital age, especially when it comes to crime and the law. Think CCTV, DNA testing, eyewitness accounts. I mean, could you, in a court of law, swear you knew which identical twin committed a crime over the other? Because if not, no conviction. And my characters have no problem exploiting this. A writer that's always really inspired me is Irvine Welsh, and he's also dyslexic. It's important to me to write in Scots dialect, and I'm going to read a bit from the book that hopefully explains why. So this is my protagonist Scarlett thinking about her position as a writer. I talk like where I'm from, because 1, I don't like to sound all pretentious in that, and 2, when it comes to writing, explaining how you feel. I don't think language plays by the rules we're taught. Use proper English, they tell us in a school. Dinna drop your T's, use the right structure. They spell it like it sounds. Honestly, I reckon I'm a wee bit dyslexic, because I can't spell a thing. Ironic for a writer, eh? But like, who cares? Convention, says who? What even is proper English? It's no Scots anyway. No, words are feelings. And there's definitely no rules to feelings.